Hey, what's going on YouTube? This is the quest guide on how to get your royal helmet and your royal dagger. It's a multifaceted quest. There's a bunch of different like pre-quests that you have to do before you get to like some of like the later ones. These are some of the easier ones. It starts off at Hildegard, at the centermost south gate of Basile. You're going to go over to this house in the southwest of Basile. He's going to say you go over there. You're going to search a little chest. There's a couple bandits in there. Now, I do have this batch with part of the White Rats quest running. I did already talk to Elsie, and I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to talk to her future whatever boyfriend, whatever Wilfred is. I don't even know. Dude's a weirdo. But yeah, so you just, you go in here. And you talk to Wilfred. He's not part of the quest. This is part of the White Rats. If you follow the guide, there's a guide coming out tomorrow, or like a pathing guide for tomorrow to do like a bunch of the quests early and like get a bunch of gear, wizard hat, things of that nature, and like a good route. And it gives you like a little break too. It also starts in like a different route. But yeah, this is Elsie's mom's flower shop. This is not entirely necessary to like mark stuff like this. This is simply just for this is simply just for like the quest guide that's coming out later, because it's gonna be like how to like batch a bunch of stuff. It's gonna be an updated one, like good quest routing. So yes, what you're actually gonna do is you're gonna go to this house south of Wilfred's house, like right behind Wilfred's house, and you're gonna go in there, and there is a chest in the corner. And then you're going to go back around the house, and there is a little lift that you can take. And you're going to take that lift down in a little hallway. Just run past the bandits. You don't need to fight them. Yeah, you just run up here, take a left. Don't take a right. Because if you take a right, you'll like walk around for 5 minutes like I do, wandering around the town aimlessly, doing nothing. Yeah, go around back outside the house, and then you're going to take this lift. It's going to take you down. There's a few rats down here if you want to kill them. Get some early cheese. And then open this chest here. Sewer bloody chest. Report back to Hildegard. So we're going to go back to Hildegard. And then once we're back at Hildegard, he's going to send us down to the Sentinel Guild. And then from the Sentinel Guild, it's quite a ways down there. And then he's going to send you to some old ruins. You pick up a book. Yeah, perfect. So now he's going to send you all the way down south. I stop and do the cooking quest in this route. This is when I'm doing the cooking quest. This is when I'm talking to Elsie's brother. For those of you that don't know, you cannot do White Rats without talking to her brother. Yeah, so the Sentinel Guild, go over that way. Always making sure that I'm walking the right way. Even though I've done this several times in this map, and I've done this quest like a few times now, definitely easy to get lost. And this is done with like multiple characters and stuff. So yeah, so you're gonna go over here and down that path and east towards Caravan. I'm actually checking this to see if there's a ring, or see if they like level locked the ring. And it seems that they level locked the ring. Yeah, so I go in here and I check, and it looks like they level locked the ring. So that is kind of unfortunate, but hey, it is what it is. Such is life, right? So yeah, continuing on my way back over down to the Caravan. And then once you're over in the Caravan, you're gonna head south down the steps over by where the Zanzibar or whatever the mage's name is. I'm gonna stop here. And we're gonna cut over to that part because I end up talking to Hester for the White Rats quest. You can do that if you want, but I'm gonna skip I have the cooking quest in here. I'm just gonna skip through that part once we get to the cooking quest. So yeah, so Hester is Elsie's mom's brother. You don't have to buy a shovel. Again, this is just for early game routing for the purpose of the video that's coming out tomorrow. And then he will send you up to Elsie's mom. So that's kind of like part of the routing, right? Alright, so cooking quest finished. Now you're heading down south. Past Zebulon. There's a little ramp right by Zebulon that you're going to go down. Up and around down this bridge. And across the little land bridge. And we're going to come over here. Right north of the church. If you'd like, this is one of the places where I like changing, like set my spawn point to it sometimes. I'll just always click and ask for everything, right? So what this is gonna do is this is gonna give you another quest to track. It just shows you about Edmund's chest, which is how to get like a free yearly backpack too, just in case you end up missing the other one. Always double checking, making sure that I don't miss anything. How to get light, how to get holy. Alright, so now that we are at nighttime, and you've seen a couple of pieces of gear. Sorry, I went off and did the mausoleum quest. Stay tuned for tomorrow for the early game routing, where you do the mausoleum quest as part of the route. And I managed to get a lucky blue iron sword off of one of the mobs down there, one of the skellies. So yes, you're going to come down here to the Sentinel Guild. And you're going to talk to the guys here. They're going to send you on a couple quests. Brannigan will send you on a quest to talk to Seraphina. The person that you really want to talk to is right here. This is Dristan or Dristan. I'm not actually sure how to say his name. Yes. Yeah, so say task, quest, yes, whatever. That item is what you're going to need in the future. And then Brannigan will give you the quest to go back to Seraphina. Now, I'm going to do another edit at this point, because it's nighttime. I go off in the routing because I'm just like, oh hey, this is like a perfect time to go get the mage hat. So we're gonna skip back to where we actually finish up the quest here in just a minute, and look at that lovely mage hat upgrade. So go ahead and head down the steps, follow the little path. You're gonna run into a road. Now, you just follow the little path until you get to this little bridge up here. Go up the steps, past the bridge, and hug the little creek or the river. And once you are over here, ignore me killing the rats. I'm just simply hoping I can get some cheese. Always hoping that you can get some cheese from the rats, right? You're gonna go up the steps right as you pass the little... It's like where like the colors change, like where the tile changes for the grass, because like it's kind of like fresher green grass to like dead grass. That's kind of like your landmark. You're gonna go up those steps. And then across the land bridge, down the next set of steps. To the left, there's an underpass. Go up over this little bridge, and there's a little chest right here. Don't miss this chest. Don't miss this chest. Don't miss this chest like I did. You're going to grab that chest, and there's a rope in there. Keep following along the path. If there's some occultists there, kill the occultists. Keep moving. And I see that, and I go, oh, snap, I can put that on. It's a little bit of armor, right? So slap that on, keep going through the path, right? It's pretty straightforward. Pretty straightforward. Just keep going deeper into the ruins. Now, once you get over here, this is why you needed the rope. Always take the steps. You want to go back and take those steps. Now, what I'm showing you here is the next part. which will take you back. So you grab that book. Now I loop back through at this point, and I grab myself a little bit of juiciness. So what we're gonna actually do is we're gonna, I go down, I go underneath. I grab the broadsword at this point, so that way I have the broadsword. Broadsword gets into my bank because I have 0 cap. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and skip forward to the next part where we are back at the Sentinel Guild, and then we will go from there. Alright, so here we are. We are just waiting for Tristan to spawn. Now, once Tristan spawns, say task, hand in the quest, and then once you hand in the quest, he's going to send us over to Narda to go do some Narda things. And he's going to send us over to Baldur, over in who's in like that really high tower, all the way. So Sentinel job is the next quest that you have to do. So first, you're going to start with the Hildegard quest for the investigation. Once you finish that one, he's going to send you down here. Then you're going to do the Tristan quest where he sends you to go get the cultist book over the ruins. And now we're going to be heading over to Narda. Now, I do a whole bunch of stuff, right, in between there and now because this is my play route, right? So, my playthrough routing. So, I'm actually going to skip to that point now, and I'm going to skip it over to Narda. Alright, so we're back in Narda. Over by Fergus's farm, right back by that bridge. What you're going to do is you're going to go by the bridge, go east, and then right around that farm, you're going to hug around and take up these steps. Go up these steps, up this little ladder, and you're going to talk to Baldur. Baldur is a sentinel out here in the east who is responsible for, like, calling the threat over here, and, like, monitoring the cultists and whatever they're doing. Yeah, so you just gotta tell Baldur that you're gonna go do the quest, and then you'll have Church Whispers. Now, Church Whispers is going to lead you to the next part. So you're gonna go back into the town center, and we're gonna head east, back towards Mother's Shrine. Ignore the fact that I pick up the quest here for the talk to get the Vanguard shield. If you haven't done this, you can do this as well. It is on the way. I do it in this routing because it just makes the most sense to do it like this. If I had the balls to do the Ravamar quest, I mean, I just don't know if you can do it and not die. You get a few pots out of it. But yeah, so go up on top of Mother Shrine, take the portal, go down the logs, and then keep heading around the path. Keep going east, like you're going to where like all the anvils, and there's like the cook over here. And then you're gonna swing around. South on the bridge in East Narda. And we're going to Thuck's house. There are alternative ways to get to all these places. I'm just showing you one of the routes. And we are almost there. Almost at the church. Yeah, you're going to go past Thuck's house, go over the bridge, and instead of going down the road, you're going to split off into this little path over here. There's this little hidden path over here that takes you next to the church. Now, up here, if this is open, right, you can walk straight in there. If not, you have to go into the maze just a little bit. The maze isn't that crazy. The maze gets crazier whenever you're trying to get in further. Whenever you're trying to get in deeper into the church. Which this maze still confuses me. And I've been pretty deep. It still confuses me to go in. So you go over here. You're going to hit that lever. And then you're going to go back. Back down the path. Don't go in those steps. Not the first one. You're going to go in the second one. And inside this second one, there's going to be 2 apprentices that you kill. And if they're dead, whatever, you loot this, and you're going to get this piece of jewelry, which is like an evil charm. And now that part of the quest is completed. You just have to take that back to Boulder over in Narda Town Center in the Sentinel High Tower, and I will meet you guys there. Alright, now that we're back in Narda, I'm simply turning in my quest to get the Vanguard shield. You're going to head over to the Sentinel High Tower, over here to the west. And I think, honestly, at that point, you could probably go and grab your quest for Wolfhelm. I think you can. I'm not sure. I'm gonna delete this character now that I've gotten a bunch of the stuff on it, and I'm gonna remake it here soon. But yes, you just want to keep heading back west, like you're going back to Basile, and then you're gonna go up the steps right next to the farm, up into the tower to progress the main story quest, and you're going to talk to a ghost next. Now, the next spot that we're going to meet up at is actually going to be over back at the monastery. Or, not the monastery, the mausoleum. The mausoleum is the next spot that we're going to meet up at, right around that church. There is a graveyard next to the mausoleum and next to the church over in the plains that we were just at, where you can buy a couple of the books from that priest. So I will meet you guys there on a different character. Alright, so here we are. Now, I was waiting on my posse to show up, waiting on my group to show up. I was AFK while they were showing up. Now you're going to want to talk to that ghost. He's going to give you this dagger. This dagger is going to cause a lot of problems. I'm really not sure if you talk to Cyrilda first, if it screws anything up. I don't think you do. I've always talked to her first, and you just say, hey, dagger, and she's going to say, I don't know anything about that, right? So, I don't know if this actually does anything in that, but I just do it in this. I just do it safe, rather safe than sorry, right? I don't know the exact order of how these things function, but you go here, and then you go into the monastery, you talk to him, and then you're going to go talk to this guy in the house next to us, that's just right next to the graveyard. And then he's gonna have you go get a key in his like basement thing or something, like a chest, like a out of his chest. I don't know. It's interesting, but yeah. So you're gonna go over to the monastery, go over to this church, and then we're gonna talk to Edmund. And Edmund is going to have a interesting choice words to say. Right? So Whispers in the Dark, a ghostly meeting. You met a ghost in the graveyard, right? So over to the Sentinel Guild. And then once you end up over at the Sentinel Guild, we're going to go talk to Tristan. We're going to tell him a dagger. And he's going to be like, hey, where did you get that? It's not yours, brother. Are you sure that's yours, brother? Maybe that's not yours, brother. Yeah, so just talk to Tristan, say dagger. He's going to throw you in jail, right? And then now that you're down here, you're going to want to talk to Gareth. Now, once you're down here, there's going to be... I don't know what it is. It's like some kind of LOS or something of that nature. And I'm just like spam copying whatever I have in my notes from what I've done in the past. So that way whenever people show up down here, I can just start spamming it. So you're going to say hi. When you click on him, you say I deserve it. You can click on the I deserve it part. And to know. So yeah, it's hi, I deserve it, no, cemetery, yes, Balder, Hildegard, yes, help, no, and then he's gonna let you out. And now, from this point, I am waiting on the rest of my group that I'm leading through the quest. What to say? If you screw up any of the point, you will be like my friend Queb here. Queb kept screwing it up. Or something. I'm not sure. Maybe Queb just couldn't talk to him or something. He was too far out of the way. I'm not entirely... You gotta wait. Yeah, if you cannot talk to him, you do have to wait. So after this, what you're gonna want to end up doing is you're going to go back to the Sentinel Guild. And then you're gonna say, hey, what the heck was that? Absolutely crazy. There is a ladder right out of here. Yes, we're just waiting on Queb right now. Yep, Vold typed it out. Gotta scroll up. Just like Shadow's saying. Thanks, Shadow. Yeah, this quest is sick though. This is a great main story quest. I'm really impressed by this quest. I was gonna type it again. I was like, wait, he just typed it out. Or I was gonna re-copy paste it again. Nice, there's one. And then we're waiting on Queb. This guy got stuck. Couldn't imagine, man. Couldn't imagine. Still waiting on Queb. And I'm pretty sure Queb just keeps screwing up. Keeps screwing up the passphrases. Too funny. Yeah, if you get one wrong, you have to restart. Yeah, if you get one wrong, you do have to restart. There we go. Nice. Now Queb is out. You grab the original dagger from that chest. Head through the door. And you're going to want to head up the ladder. And then we're going to be right out behind where like where like the steps are, towards the church. And what we're gonna do is go up here. Yeah, I always grab the dagger. I don't even know if the dagger's needed. I don't know if you can turn it into. But yeah, back up here. Back to Drystan. Dristan. His name is literally Drystan, right? Drystan. Dagger. Yes, you told him about the dagger. Yeah, now we've got to go to see. There we go. Yeah, Clap knows the way. Yes, you got to go to Jordan's house, which Jordan's house is going to be over next to the cemetery. And you go talk to Jordan. So if you want to fast forward a little bit, I don't know if you want to fast forward or if you need to rewind or whatever. It's right next to the mausoleum. So you walk up here, right in front of the church. And then you're going to say dagger to this guy over here next to the cemetery inside this little house. see this is Dagger, Jordan's key. You found a missing key. And this is an OP farm spot. This spot solo is so good. Oh my gosh, I love this spot. I've grinded a bunch of ults here. Yeah, so you can see the key in his chest. Yeah, for like lowly ults and stuff, farming here on a blood moon is crazy. Unfortunately, I haven't got any crazy damage out of it. But yeah, you just come in here, beat up on the apprentices. There's an acolyte down here. We're gonna open the chest. And that wall right there, that magic wall right there, you're gonna come back here and take that portal later, right? And I will explain at that video, I will explain at that part of the video. When you come back here, you go through that portal and it's gonna take you to a little bit later part. Yeah, that's the portal to hell. Ha 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 ha. Indeed it is. Yep, so leave the house, go back over here, you're gonna go talk to Seymour, you're gonna tell Seymour that you found something about a cross. You say cross, and then a new quest has been added, an odd widow. Then you go question her again. Just wait on everybody. Just wait on everybody, making sure everybody's on the same step. If you do this as a group, you know, make sure everybody's doing it. Make sure everybody's on the right steps. You don't want someone to get left behind. Don't want to screw anything up. Making sure everybody's on the right step. So you go over here, back to the graveyard, talk to Serolda, say cross. Cedric connection. Now we have to go back. We have to talk to Cedric, so we're going to go back to Basile. And it's right north of the flower shop. Right north of where you buy fish and where you buy the crowbar. And that's where we're going to go. And I'm going to go ahead and skip forward to that part now. Once you're back in Basile. So we are back in Basile, running past Wolfram and Lorene's. And you're just going to keep running north up these little steps. And you'll see Cedric in here. And you're going to want to talk to him about the cross. And you just hit cross. He's going to say, I don't really know what you're talking about. A dead end. So what you're going to do is you're going to go back over to the tavern. Right? So we're going to go to the tavern, south side of the city, right next to all the shops. And over in the tavern, you're going to go over there. And we're going to talk to Osbert. Now, Osbert is going to send you on a very, very long task over into the swamp. In that, he's going to have you do a quest over in the swamp, get him some potion shipment, and then the potion shipment quest goes awry, so you have to go get that taken care of. So yes, we're going over here to the tavern, and then we're going down here. And there's Osbert. So talk to Osbert. Now, what you're going to want to say to Osbert, I couldn't remember what to say, to be honest. I was like, is it cross? No, it's Cedric. Cedric is the word that you want to use here. I could not remember for the life of me. And, yeah, Clapped had to tell me. I couldn't remember. So, yes, you say Cedric, and then once you say Cedric, he's going to send you on a little task to go help out Razapar. So Cedric, yes, yes, is what you're looking for. And then he will send you on the little quest. Next part of the quest. Now we're going to the docks. Everyone's headed to the docks. And you're going to get Osbert's shipment. Osbert asks something about Torvan. So yeah, so now we're going to the swamp. And now that we are over in the port, talk to Torvan. He doesn't send you to Dorsen right away, right? So if you say travel, it doesn't give you any options. Now, if you go talk to Razabar, right? You go talk to Razabar. He will... See, and I had already done this on other tunes, so I was like confused. I was like, oh, so why isn't this working? I was like, oh, so it makes sense, and this is why you have to do the quest first, right? So you say shipment. And you say shipment, and he's gonna send you up here to talk to Razabar. So after you say shipment, talk to Razabar. Say shipment again. Swamp trip. Razabar has given you permission to go after a delayed shipment. And then you're going to go talk to Torvan. You're going to go back and talk to Torvan. And then you can say travel. You can say swamp. And then you pay him a little bit of cash. And he will take you over to the swamp. Yeah, so for 25 measly gold, you get TP'd all the way over here to the swamp. And it is incredible. Now, we do have to go... talk to the witch. Gotta go talk to Violet. And then we'll tell Violet what's going on. And Violet will send us down to the south part of the swamp to go get this shipment taken care of. Always feel pleased. Always pray for good broadswords. So grab, if you haven't been here yet, grab that stuff. They're going the wrong direction. I don't know why I'm following them. Yeah, you're going to go up this way. Cross the bridge. Take a right next to Bessie. And then you're going to go up these steps over here to the right. And then you're going to go up those steps over there. Alright, so you can take a right once you go past Bessie. You're going to go up this ramp. There's going to be some pleas here. If there's pleas here, farm them. Pray for a good broadsword. And I see that I have lost my crew. They are coming. Hit this rope. Yeah, and the reason I get turned on the swamp is because, like, the map is so, like, because the map isn't static, it's very disorienting. It's incredibly disorienting. Yeah, so you're going to come up here, take a right, go up those steps. You're going to go around and start to follow, like, what little path there might be. And then go up these steps to the left. Grab your signs if you haven't grabbed your signs. Always grab your signs. And then talk to Violet and say shipment. And then once your group has the quest, head down the stairs, start heading south, and then you're going to want to take this left part onto, like, this little path, heading kind of like southeast. heading southeast. You'll go the other direction here in a little bit. Yeah, so heading southeast, continue heading southeast. And then walk across this bridge, take another left, continue going east along the bridge. Past Clovis, down the steps. Continue heading south, and now we're going to be going southwest towards the next bridge. And across this next bridge. And now we're in here. And now we have to wait for the next part. This guy does not spawn until much later in the day. So, I'll be back whenever he spawns. And Jebediah should be spawning now. Perfect. And here comes Jebediah. Now go talk to him and say shipment. Now, he is going to say that you are going to have to help him. Because he lost his shipment. And he's going to give you this key. And this key is going to lead you up. Now there is one that's right next to him. Right next to the blue passage. I can get that one later. And I will show you as we get there to make it much simpler and shorten the video so it's not too long. So yeah, so run back the way that you came. We're going to go back to where the plea area was first. The plea area where you first come in at whenever you hug that right next to Bessie. I always kill Walkie doing this. Just in case, I mean, just in case they get it. Yeah, just in case you get that fat ring, bro. That ring is huge. I mean, massive HP ring. In games of this nature, HP's king. HP's crazy, man. Yeah, so walk past the bridge. And we're going to head north. And ring also drops off Black Hat, by the way, over in the bandit camp, for those of you that don't know. Absolutely incredible. So yeah, so back up here. And then we're going to take the west one, and then north. Back up the way that we came. We're just coming back up the way we came. It's so weird to say HP 15. Yeah, so back the way that we came. Jebediah's ambush 1, then we're going to go to Jebediah's ambush 3, and then we're going to make our way back down to Jebediah's ambush 2. And I swear that this was... Maybe it's... I thought there was another spot. Yeah. A bunch of tanks doing no damage. Need a mage. Alright, so yeah. So back the way that we came. Down the steps. Take the rope. And then you're going to hug around this little building where all the pleas are. And then you can walk into the water. And you're going to walk in that water. You're going to go up these next pair of steps, and in the back of this, hidden by some trees, there is a little chest right over here. So you grab this chest. You are going to need some weight, and you are going to need some slots for your inventory. Because you are going to need 3 pieces. So the first one is going to be that potion bottle. Now we're going to head east past Bessie. And I hadn't used, when I recorded this, I hadn't used the magic arrows yet on my rogue, because I wasn't high enough level, and I was like, oh, what is this? These are the arrows. I was like, oh, they have like a timer. Oh, this is cool. This is interesting. Yes, you head west. There's going to be a couple rats over here. That's where you know you're at, so you're going to be right next to Bessie, heading west. Yeah, if you hold alt, you can look at people's levels around you. You can see what class they are. That's right. Go west and up this little ramp right here. Now what you're looking to do is there is a little lever that you're going to have to hit. So those ropes over there is what you're going to take to get back up. So you're going to go up these steps over here, far east, and loop around this little passage right here. And then you're going to hit that lever. That lever is going to open a hidden rock area over here. And then you go through here, and there's going to be a couple of cultists in this little area. If they're not already dead. Go through the little ruins, go down the steps. Down the steps, just waiting for everybody. Still missing someone. Clap is coming, perfect. And then you're gonna hit this rope. Now, be careful down here. There is a pestilence spawn that can spawn right up at the top of this little island right here. We help this guy kill a little pestilence spawn. Not that big of a deal. There is a chest here that's going to have the potions crate or whatever it is. And then you take that rope, and that rope will take you back up to where we came. And now we go all the way back down. Where we came from. All the way back down to where we came from, and instead of taking a right on that original bridge, you're going to take a left as you're like exiting that part of the sewers near Jebediah's. There is a bridge there. Now, I derail us here because I'm just like, hey, maybe we should go, let's go check Cutlass, and then Cutlass is like open for like we go. And and I'm like, wait, it's like I go up here and start heading back down. And I'm like, wait, maybe, and like we get over here and then I'm like, wait, because Myrlings are about to spawn. I'm like, I don't want to be up here doing quests with Myrlings. And then like, I was like, oh, let's take us back. We're talking back and forth on what to do. And so I'm just like, no, you can do this. So what you do is up here, Violet, going back down. And I'm like, I can't remember where the third is. So I'm like, I remember it's underneath. And I remember I was like, oh, it's not over there. That's right. Yeah, it's underneath. It's under the ground. And I know it's in some kind of passes. So I'm like, maybe it's in Blue Pass. And I could not remember for the life of me where it was at. So yeah, so I lead us on some like absolutely ridiculous wild goose chase. I get super lost, and then I remember, I'm like, oh, I forgot. There is 2 caves right next to each other. And I completely forgot that. I was like, oh, there's a cave that's right next to the blue cave. So go back down, and you go back down like you're going to the blue cave, but you don't go to the blue cave. You go down. Go down the stairs. Go down the stairs. And there is a cave over here. So you go, follow this little path into the cave, and the chest is literally right here in the open. Yeah, I went in the wrong one. So you go down here, and you take that, you see that little wood right there? The chest is right there. The chest is right there. It's easy to miss, so you just take the little wood walkway there. You grab the stash of empty flasks, and now you head back to Jebediah. And then you're going to hand all this back into Jebediah. Now we have Myrlings. Myrling spawning. I just run through this. Because I'm like, I ain't afraid of no ghosts. Because I know it's going to despawn soon. So there it goes. Despawns. Keep running back the way that you came. And then we are finally back at Jebediah on the south part of the swamp. You go talk to Jebediah, tell him about the shipment. He's going to send you back to Osbert. This was a shipment. And then you're going to say shipment again. I don't know if you actually have to wait. But, yeah, I'm not sure if you have to wait or if you just say shipment again or whatever it triggers it. But if you say shipment again, it triggers it. And now you're on the next part of the quest. And now we have to head back with the potions. So I am going to skip forward to that next part, and I will see you guys there. Alright, so here we are back at Osbert. Say shipment. Now you can go back to the boat in the swamp, and you can talk to Torva or whatever that guy's name is on the boat, and he will bring you back here if you save the seal. So he's going to tell you that there is a passphrase. The blood moon shines in the sky tonight. That is the passphrase that you get from Osbert in order to get into the monastery where the monks are. So you're going to want to go back up to Cedric. So I make some food, and I'm going to meet you guys over at Cedric. Sorry, I had to make some food for our little chat there. Now, blood moon shines in the sky tonight. Now, only go in here if you are ready to get your group on, right? You can probably run through here if you have some HP, maybe a couple HP pods solo, to at least get down to where you're trying to go. Not too entirely sure. I would just bring a group unless you're a very high level and you can solo monks. If you can solo monks, then you can solo most of the next part. It's going to be kind of difficult. It's going to be incredibly difficult. But if you can solo monks, you could definitely do the next part. Yeah, you say passphrase, which is the blood moon shines in the sky tonight. And that will TP you from Cedric, and he will say, are you ready to go now? That's how he like knows that you're a member of the cult or whatever. And then he will TP you inside the monastery. And you will navigate from there. So you're going to walk through here, kill some monks. And then keep walking through the monastery, up these steps. Perfect. Now don't go up the stairs, down the stairs. Down the stairs is what you want to do. Down the stairs is what you want to do. Because if you go up, you're just going to get lost. Down the steps. Like, ooh, some arrows for my ult. Down the steps. And Queb is coming. Queb definitely got turned around. There's Queb. Alright, down the steps. Then you're going to loot this chest. There's going to be an old key. Back up the steps. Now we're going to go up these steps, heading east. Heading west. My apologies. I don't know. I don't know how to read directions. Yeah, you're gonna go west, just like you did. And you go down these steps right here. Up the steps again, and then down these steps over here. And this is gonna lead you into a corridor. Nope. Keep going down. It looks like a trap, but it's not. And that key unlocks that door. Now that door will connect you to part of the Underdark, or part of the sewers that you, like, whenever you were first playing, you might have explored and you would be like, oh, I know this part. Yeah, so you're gonna go through this door. Down here, there's some skeletons. There's that. That's where the little banshee spawns right there. And then, boom, you got your occultist apprentice. Now you're at the first hideout for the occultists. First hideout for the occultists. You're gonna go in here. Now, the thing is if there is a group that has already done this part, you can technically join them after that, because the infiltration, the investigation, only has to do with this part. To unlock or open a magic door, the magic door from earlier, the magic door that I was telling you whenever you're in, God, what is his name? The guy that's next to the cemetery. The guy that's next to the cemetery in the plains, next to the mausoleum. You're gonna come over here. And there was like when you went down behind his house and you got that key, and there was the cross in there. There was a cross in that chest, and that cross looks similar to like the widow's whatever. Right? You go in there, and it's all Gucci. So we clear this out. We go in here. I end up dying here because I'm a moron. I'm trying to tank and spank the mob. And I did not expect to get double crit or triple crit. I got absolutely deleted. I should have had 350 HP plus here. I'm not sure why I didn't respec. I thought that I would have been fine. You want to LOS this guy so that way he's not running around causing any trouble. And you can, like I said, and the thing is Clapped is 17, I'm 18, and this is a bunch of 10s. So it goes to show you that you can do this, right? That it's really not that crazy. The Necromancer is actually relatively impressive. I was planning on us just skipping the Necromancer based off of pathing, because he will path in the room that we're about to go unlock. Yeah, so we come in here and we clear all this out. So I'm gonna skip forward through us clearing all this out until we're in the next room. Alrighty-o-ray, so I have died. We are back in this room. There is a lever right there in the corner that you hit that will unlock the gate into the next spot. I'm like, where the heck is this lever at? I know there's a lever in here somewhere. Couldn't remember. The lever's right over there in the corner. It's in the southeast corner of the room. I'm like, where the heck is this lever at? Oh, it's right there. So I go, flip the lever, go back over, realize that I hit the lever, and I think that it's, I think I closed the door here. Yeah, I wanted to check and see something, if you could leash. Yeah, you can leash stuff out of here. So you could reset mobs, like how I was showing you in the other video. I believe that you could just reset everything in that room. I'm not 100% positive on that. But I believe that you could reset everything in that room by running into the sewers here. By running into upper sewers. I think it's possible. I'm not 100% certain because I haven't tested it. But I do believe that you can. I believe you can reset all of the mobs in that room. Or all of the sketchy mobs that are in this next room. Yeah, because Queb might have to tank this stuff, because I'm much squishier than Queb is. So we end up pulling the Necromancer, and I roach out, because I was going to show you kind of what happens. I didn't expect them. There's some noobs that pull a bunch of extra stuff whenever they get in here. And I was trying to be really careful, so we end up pulling the Necromancer and other paths, and I'm not sure of what happened. So I sprint through and try to explain what's happening as it happens. or explain like what you get while you're down here. So there's like a couple of chests. One has a dark robe. One has a dark helm. And then Queb's over here saying, I'm pretty confident I won't die. And I'm like, brother. There's no... Yeah, he's crazy, bro. Need to get a good road scope. Yeah, don't want to be bringing stuff back in here when we've got stuff spawning. Right? That is terrible. You see, you go down. And there's like a little gate right at the bottom. Go down. There's this little gate here. Yeah. Yeah, I forgot that I locked it. Yeah, so Queb goes and hits the lever. Perfect. Come back. That scholar spawns. I was making sure Queb was good. So yes, you go in here, and there's a couple of scary things in here. You've got some scholars. So I believe that you have one scholar. So yeah, so we kill these apprentices. You're gonna kill the scholar. There's gonna be a necromancer up top. Now the necromancer will summon, and I can't believe I did this. I hate how it just drags it in and it doesn't switch the item. That is something that I would like. Ed, if you ever end up watching this, please make that a thing. Switch items. If I'm hovering an item, I want it to be switched. Like when I'm hovering, I don't want it to go automatically in the bag. I want it to be switched. I'm doing that on purpose. So bring the scholar in here, kite the scholar around. Wait for him to start doing all the crazy stuff. He will hit super hard. He can like, I think his crits are like 140 or something. I'm pretty sure his crits are in the 140s. It's pretty crazy. So yeah, so you go down here. And be super careful coming in here. There's the pestilence stinger. You pull the pestilence stinger. And you gotta be really careful because the necromancer is right there. And Clap runs in, pulls the necromancer. Pull it back. I see the HP of the party, and I'm like, I don't think we're healthy enough to kill this thing. So I roach, and I speed through this. And I go in. I roach past the mobs. Because my plan here... Yeah, I'm like, they're all dead. There's no way. Because I didn't think that they'd have the damage to do it. So I sprint around the pestilence bringer. I grab this chest, grab my loot. Scoop my loot. Now that portal right there, that one that I'm spam clicking on right there, that is what takes you into that like underpass behind the house that we were in earlier. And what it's going to do is it's going to unlock, you'll see here in a minute what I'm trying to explain. Because I come back and I'm like, there's no, I thought they were all dead. I was going to just pull that, roach it out. And I was going to leave the necromancer in that room. I was just going to leave the necromancer in that room. I thought they were going to die in there, and I was just going to leave the necromancer in that room, and I was going to clear everything in that little room, and then go through the portal. Holy cow. They proved that out, because this is like, it's like a 17, an 18, and then the rest are like 10s. I'm pretty sure all of them are 10 or something like that. Yeah, kind of scary. So a bunch of low levels doing a necro. I was impressed. I was very impressed. So shout out to all those guys if they end up watching this VOD. So you go up here, kill the skellies, kill the occultists. I'm gonna loot these chests. Yeah, so you just kill all this stuff, grab your chests, grab your hood and natch, and then it's going to TP you in here. And then boom. This is how you unlock that little magic wall right there. So you see the magic wall, and now I'm gonna flip the switch, and the magic wall disappears. Now what you do is you come back here, and you're gonna walk through that. And I'm gonna clip the VOD here, and I'm gonna walk through and show you where that part leads. Sorry if you can hear that horn in the background. There is some guy absolutely going berserk outside because people don't know how to park in New York City. It's just how it is. So you will have to have a raid for the next part. This next part, I'm going to clip to the raid, and I will show you the next part heading from there. So what you do moving forward is you just go back to the plains area. You're going to go from the plains area because that door is locked. You can't go through. I wish that was the case. It would make it so much more simpler. Maybe there is a key that I just like totally missed. If there is a key that I missed, please leave it so down in the comment. I think that you have to go back. If there is a key that's really dope, please put it in the comments. That would be awesome. I would love to know. I assume the community would love to know because that'd be sick. But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and skip forward to that part because all you do is you go back through that. You go through that portal, and then it's gonna you're gonna end up right outside of the next cultist hideout, and I'm gonna go to that now. Alright, so here we are. This is where the portal takes you. The portal is right over there to the southeast of this platform. There's also like a little ladder over there that you can take. Inside this room, I believe there's 5 mobs in the first one, if I remember correctly. I'm like checking the levels and stuff. Yeah, so you want to come in this room 15, 20, I'm not sure. Like, I mean, if you're really coordinated, like probably 6 to 8, you could probably do it, but an uncoordinated, like, yeah, I mean, there's 5 mobs in here. So you've got 1 scholar, a couple acolytes, an enforcer. Jordy's just kiting all the mobs around. Scholar needs to die. Scholar's your highest priority, absolutely. Pick off the weaker ones, though, and just dodge all of the scholars correctly. Just kill the weak ones. Kill the weak ones, leave the harder stuff for last. Next room, I believe, has 8 mobs. I'm super squishy on this dude, so I'm waiting like, thanks to it first. I'm like spam clicking. I don't know why it's not working. I'm just like, I don't know if I'm the wrong one. But yeah, so there's mostly enforcers up on this floor. There's a couple of the acolytes, whatever the T2 ones are. I'm trying to roach some loot, bro. We all poor here. Yeah, 3rd floor is scary, be ready. There are going to be multiple different types of casters on this floor. It is absolutely terrifying. Tanks need to go first. Tanks need to have very high HP. I'm talking 350, probably 400 to not get absolutely obliterated. As you see here, you see 2 occultist scholars. There's multiple acolytes. There's a ton of acolytes. So if you get caught out in a crossfire between them, but you can use, like you see how this part on the south corner, you can kind of like kite them around. You can kind of like run around and kite them. That is what I highly suggest to do. Now on the next floor, there's a bunch of monks. Now the monks aren't that crazy. I think it's like 4 or 5 monks on the next floor. 4 or 5 monks on the next floor. Just TP up and just go. Like it's like we were sitting here getting healthy over like 4 or 5 monks, and I mean I didn't know it was on top of this. So we yeah, I'm just like waiting here. Navy said F. Go. Yeah, everybody's like spamming go because that one guy went, and we're like, we're not gonna leave this guy to die. So good. Yeah, so you get up here, there's a few monks, you kill the monks. Now loot the chest. Perfect. Now inside that chest, you're going to have that's the book for Magic Wall. Then you're gonna go through this portal. Do not hit the lever. The lever will TP you outside of the building. That is if you're looping this as like a farm. Right? If you're looping this as a farm and you have like a small group that's like able to like do this on like CD, then this would be like your loop, right? So yeah, so you're gonna take the portal. Portal gonna TP you back into the monastery. And it's going to TP you into the monastery in a place that you didn't get prior. You open this, it's going to give you a blue rose and a crystal key. And the crystal key will take you out of here. Now, the door, walk down the steps. And this is where you came into, wait, this is where you get TP'd in at, right? So when you get TP'd into the monastery, this is the spot. So you have to go back out the normal way. And the next thing that you're going to have to do is a lot of running. There is a ton of, like, an absolute metric ton of running. So what we're going to have to do is you're going to want to go back to Dristan. That is the next thing. So we're going to clip forward here. Once we get out of the monastery, I'm going to clip forward to Dristan, and you're going to want to tell Dristan about the rose, right? He's going to tell you, oh, blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. But we're done with the quest, right? And now we're just focused on getting the rewards. So we're going to go ahead and patch forward to Dristan. Talk to Dristan, tell him about the rose. Then he's going to give you a letter. What that letter is going to do is that letter is going to have you go back to the king. So you're going to want to go back to the king. Then once you're at the king, tell the king what's going on. And, you know, he'll be like, oh. Yeah, so I don't see it in my... I'm like looking at my quests and stuff. I'm like, I don't see it. Maybe I'm just like tripping. But yeah, so what you're going to want to do at this point is you're just going to go back to the king. And then you're actually going to go talk to Ysiult outside of the king. Back in Basile. So we're going to cut to that part now. Alright, so here we are. On our way to go talk to Ysiult. Go up the ramp, go up the steps, go across the bridge. And here you talk to Ysiult, and you're going to say letter, and he will give you an audience with the king. And then you talk to the king, you say letter. He's going to take it from you. These forces seem to be deep and powerful to be reckoned with, especially right now. So he's going to tell you about Tristan. And then you have the bait. Do not hand over the rose to Ysiult. So what you want to do is you just want to get escorted out. So you talk to Cedric and say, hey, can I leave? And you do not want to talk to Ysiult. Do not talk to Ysiult. Don't do it. It's a bait. King told you to do it. You'll break yourself out of some of the rewards, right? From what I know, I could be wrong. This is what someone told me, is that if you do it, if you don't do it in this order, it screws up your stuff. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually clip forward to the next part of us being back at the Sentinel Guild, because that's where we're going. You're just gonna go back to the Sentinel Guild, and once you're back at the Sentinel Guild, then you're gonna be able to get your royal helmet, and then you're gonna come back here and then get your rewards. So yeah, so we're gonna cut here, so we're gonna cut forward here in just a couple moments. And boom, here we are. I'm gonna come up here. Back at the Sentinel Guild. And you say Rose. And you talk to Tristan, say Rose, go up here, grab yourself a royal helmet. Boom, there's your royal helm. Spamming all this stuff. And then you're going to head back to Ysiult after this. So lots of running. And then you can tell the Ysiult about the rose. Alright, so here we are back at Ysiult. Now you can do what the king told you to do, because now we have the royal helmets in our inventory. And Ysiult will then give you the rewards that you're looking for from this quest, and that's the reason why you're watching this video in the first place, is you can see that it's locked. You say rose, he's gonna take that out. He's gonna take that from you. He's gonna say, "Oh yes, the rose." Blah blah blah, whatever. So you can now loot the chests, and boom, there's 2.5k in the first chest, absolutely a massive amount of cash, and then this is how you get your Royal Dagger. There we are. You now have the Royal Dagger and the Royal Helmets. Like, comment, subscribe. Thank you guys for showing up. If you have any questions, link below in the comments. Future quest guides, if you need as well. I'm going to have tomorrow, it'll be my starting route starting in Narda. And the starting route starting in Narda is, it's probably, it takes you through a bunch of stuff, getting a whole host of different quests. That's where a lot of like the earlier footage from Volta Human actually was from that character. And we'll go through that, get yourself magic, get yourself mage chat, get yourself basically a lot of the stuff that you have, or should have early, like broadsword, mage chat. It just allows you to not spend points on stuff that you don't need, and like the armor that you get from a Spangle is not worth not having heal early, in my opinion, for most classes. It's just not worth. But yeah, thanks again for stopping by. Like, comment, subscribe, and have a beautiful rest of your day. Thank you.